This one is gonna be about what I need you guys to do first is like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, share it. You know what I'm saying? I had a rough childhood, very abused childhood. Always weird, different, always doing odd stuff. And who was not present when he was present, he was abusive. Tattoo, I have sacred geometry, I have manifest, new age, Egyptian pyramids. It's just YouTube world, it's your girl Ivory coming at you guys with another video, and this video is going to be totally different in particular. So this video here is going to be about your girl's testimony. Okay, I haven't had no sex. I love the Lord. I felt like living life and talking to enough people and get enough feedback. It's a story that needs to be told. It's a story that needs for me to be bold through everything that I've been through and just tell you guys why I left New Age religion, all that folklore, and came back to Jesus Christ and Christianity. Now, if you know me, you know that's crazy. Especially looking at my tattoos. You can definitely say, dang, why, Ivory, why would you do that? And I am going to go into a short and sweet testimony for you guys because you know I like my videos short and sweet. And I'm going to tell you all why I made that decision. So let's get into it. All right. So to kind of make things short and sweet, those who already know me, who already met me, you've heard this story 1,000 times, but for those who are just following, what I need you guys to do first is like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, share it. Even my enemies, talk about me as long as you're sharing it, okay? So let's get into this story. How I grew up, a lot of people do know already, I grew up in a gruesome situation, you know what I'm saying? I had a rough childhood, very abused childhood. Abuse from my father, emotional abuse from my mother, house hopping all the time. It was bad. I grew up pretty like quirky. I'm still quirky today. Couldn't make friends, really couldn't keep friends because I was always weird, different, always doing odd stuff, and I've always been that way. And because of that, it kind of led me to like solitude a lot, loneliness. As a young child, I would always see spiritual stuff, so I was always into spirituality at a very young age when none of my peers were even thinking about being in that, caring about being in that. It was just interesting to me. Because of that, I feel like the devil just definitely crept in on my loneliness, me being abused, me having an addict for a father, and who was not present when he was present. He was abusive. You know, it was times where he slammed me through tables by my ponytail, through beer cans that my mama had full of beer. It was a lot. And I just couldn't understand at the time why God would give me those type of parents. So it kind of led me to a life of figuring out what God really is, or just figuring out if this all was a hoax or a lie, or, you know. And that led me down the path of being a religion hopper. You feel me? As you can see, I have a Buddhism tattoo. I have sacred geometry all on me. I have Rastafari. You feel me? I have manifest, new age, Egyptian pyramids. It's crazy, the stuff. I got sacred down my back. It's just crazy, the stuff that you explore when you kind of just seeking to fill a spiritual void. And that's kind of what was happening to me. Like, I didn't have the correct love and guidance growing up, and it just led me to a path of just seeking all the time elsewhere. And it broke me. I'm not gonna lie, it broke me. Throughout my childhood, me being just quirky, you know what I'm saying, an awkward black girl, nobody really liked me for long. even dudes. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't popular. I wasn't cool. I didn't have weave and bundles and long box braids. I couldn't get my hair done. My parents couldn't afford it. They were poor. We stayed on Section 8. You feel me? We got evicted and my mom rent was just $1. I remember one time the water went off and we had to go across the street to the neighbor. And you hear this in my surrender project, and boil water at this old lady house and come back and take baths with it. So life was pretty crucial, and I got really depressed. That's when the spirit of depression came in. I was going through a lot of depression, and I felt like the streets were my father. The streets filled every void that I needed it to fill. The streets gave me acceptance. Even though I was quirky, I was still in the middle of the hood. So I still had that aspect about me. Like, you see a lot of awkward black girls or a lot of quirky girls or whatever, and they're in the suburbs, or they were born with some type of crowd that accepts them, or a friend, and I didn't have any of that. I didn't meet my best friend until probably like 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, it was just me hanging around hood girls all the time, trying to hide the fact that I was quirky, trying to hide the fact that I was awkward, you know what I'm saying, trying to fit in. So whatever they did, I did, because they had a place where I could stay. We house hopped a lot, like I said, and they had a place that I could stay. I could stay at their house, but I had to do what they was doing, you know what I'm saying? They jumping girls, I'm jumping girls. They spray painting cars, I'm spray painting cars. They stealing cars, I'm stealing cars, you know what I'm saying? And by the grace of God, I never got caught. I never had to face any tribulation into my adulthood. So I went through that for a brief stint in my teenage years. I always did horrible in school, you know what I'm saying? I was smart, I had a high IQ, I just didn't care. I didn't see why any of that mattered when I'm homeless, I'm poor, we in and out of shelters. Stuff is like, why does it matter to make good grades when I don't know how to cook? And if I did know how to cook, I didn't have the supplies to do so, to eat, and I'm hungry. Like, why does this stuff matter right now? And that was just kind of like my mentality. I grew up like that for a while, hanging with those girls, and I lost sight of God. You know what I'm saying? I knew God in my childhood, but it was just like, why would I, you know what I'm saying, when it's just so much going on in my life that it was no point in me really like reaching out to God. I just felt like I always got to handle this on my own, so that's what I'm gonna do, handle it on my own. And that's exactly what I did. After that spirit of depression snuck in, it came a spirit of rejection, because sometimes them girls would want to hang with me, sometimes they wouldn't. I knew in my heart, in the back of my mind, that they were using me, but I didn't care. I just needed friends. I needed acceptance, and it was a sad road, but it's a road that I chose to walk just to be loved. You know what I'm saying? My siblings had a life of their own. My sister was pretty popular. People liked her. She was kind of, you know, cool, had a little friends, but she still kind of went through the same thing, but she had more friends than me, more social than me, and I just couldn't get the grasp of it, couldn't get the hang of it at all. So I would let them friends use me, treat me like crap. And then once I got the spirit of rejection, when they would kept playing with my feelings on again, off again, on again, off again, eventually I just started to just learn isolation. The spirit of isolation crept in. And when the spirit of isolation crept in, it took over like never before. You feel me? I love being by myself, but it was danger being by myself, because for some reason, the devil had a strong attack on my life. And I know the reason, you know what I'm saying? I knew as a child, you know, I got prayed over and they told me, yeah, your daughter's a prophetess. Like, she's supposed to see and hear from God. And it was true. It was all true. Like, I would always dream stuff and it would come to pass. You know what I'm saying? I would always be around somebody and revelation just come out of me and it be accurate. And I don't know this person. You know what I'm saying? It just be how it worked. And because of that, and I'm in isolation a lot, the devil had to find a way to take my gift, how to snatch my gift. So he would send me nightmares, dreams all the time. I would be attacked by a succubus spirit all the time, over and over and over and over again. It's like times where I did not want to go to sleep because I was always being raped in my sleep. And it was horrible. It was horrible. It was things I wouldn't even mention on this video. Just, it was horrible. And I felt like I was in some scary movie all the time, because in reality, my father was the demon that I had to chase and run from and hide from whenever he was around. And then in my sleep, it would attack me. So my life was pretty isolated and miserable because of that. That went on for a while, and the abuse didn't stop. My father started to be sexually abusive, you know what I'm saying? And I would wake up to him kissing me, feeling his mustache on my lip, and I don't know why it was never reported. I can't tell you. That'd be a question you have to ask my mother, but I don't know if it just wasn't taken as serious. I don't know. I don't even want to lie on her because all is forgiven, but it's just maybe because I was so young and I misunderstood, or I don't know. Can't tell you, but that damaged me too. But it also opened up a sexual spirit on me, and I started to masturbate a lot. I was in solitude a lot, alone a lot, and it just opened up a door of pornography and masturbation, and that became my best friend because I would feel relief from that, and then I could sleep. And once that started to happen, my mind was just always off God at that point. It was always off God at that point. And I started to consume different spirits that were just always controlling me. For example, the sexual perversion spirit, the spirit of anger, the spirit of rejection, the spirit of projecting on people everything that I felt because I was so miserable that would just be pushed onto other people all the time. And if you were in a relationship with me or trying to talk to me or date me, I would just make you miserable intentionally because I was miserable and I didn't seek help. I didn't know anything about therapy. I'm in the middle of the hood. That wasn't a thing. You feel me? I do know I ended up going to this alternative school called CEP, CEP Partners, Children Entering Prison. Because I was bad. I was out of control. I'm skimming through this, but I had a lot of anger issues. You feel me? I was disrespectful. I wanted to fight teachers. I was just that child that just the world owed me an apology, and the world didn't do nothing to me, but that's just how I felt. So it would get pretty crazy, and I got expelled from school. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do no work. I was skipping all the time. Like I can't even go back to the age because I always skipped school. Like I was always out of there. And at first it started off because we was poor and I ain't like people bullying me and picking on me. You feel me? So that's why I skipped, because I was poor. I ain't had no name brand clothes. Stealing out of Walmart don't mean you're gonna wear name brand. So yeah, it got pretty sucky for me. And I just skipped to avoid the embarrassment. I just skipped. And by the time I got in 7th grade, 8th grade, they kicked me out. They expelled me. And I went to CEP. And that's where like the sexual door kind of opened up way too much for me. I started liking this guy and kind of fell in love with him, like a crush type thing. And then later on, I just, I found out later on that he was smashing my friend. You feel me? Like, and this is the crazy part. I asked him, could my best friend come to his house because she had no place to stay. You know what I'm saying? She was arguing with her parents. She had no place to stay. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, you can go stay at such and such house, which is my boyfriend at the time. And his parents out of town, they always leave him the house. They was rich folks. And I was like, you can go stay over there. And she went and stayed over there. And then the next morning they both get on the bus and they acting weird. And I kind of just put 2 and 2 together. So me and my homegirl, Janae, shout out to Janae. Me and my homegirl, which was my best friend at the time, prank called his phone acting like a clinic. Because I remember him saying he had to go to the clinic and it didn't make sense to me because I didn't have sex with you. So it was just like, I was peeping stuff. And so he went to the clinic, and after that, I made a prank phone call acting like I was the clinic and asked him his last sexual partner, saying he had an STD, and he mentioned my best friend, and that's how I found out. So then, boom, in comes the spirit of betrayal. That's not, man, I can go down a list of friends who slept with the dude that I love. I don't know why I just attract people like that, but I just knew the enemy was doing that to just destroy me, break my heart. So that's what happened. My heart got broken, got destroyed. And that pushed me further into isolation. Then it pushed me further into anger. So then it just was like, I'm useless. I'm this quirky black girl that's awkward, that's in the middle of the hood, pretending to be hood, and I can't fit in still. I'm doing a bad job at that. No one really likes me because I'm not attractive. I'm skinny, you know what I'm saying? I'm flat chested, all this stuff. I was into anime. And it was just like, nobody really liked me. And that sucked. That sucked a lot. And now that leaves me with my own vices, you feel me? I started running the street all the time, but you know who did like me? Older men, yeah. And they took advantage of you, girl, you feel me? They took advantage of me. And that opened the door to where, I'm gonna be honest and say this, and it's embarrassing to say, but it's true. That opened the door to where if I was getting raped, I can't even tell you that I remember, because it happened so much. If it was statutory, if it was just uncomfortable rape, I consider that a thing where somebody's uncomfortable and the person just keep going until you just surrender. Yeah, that happened a lot. Yeah. Those things happened, and then I just kind of like went off the deep end in my mind. Didn't matter because they would give me money, and I guess that was a way of me shutting up and being quiet. So yeah, I shut up and was quiet. Freak. I don't like talking about that stuff, but yeah, that opened that door for me. And I wasn't really telling nobody what was going on. It's like at the time, my mom did not care. She was too depressed. She had too many kids, staying by herself and trying to survive her dang self, dealing with her own spirits and vices. And I was going through it, you feel me? I was going through it pretty bad, and I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody anything about what was going on. It was times where I was running away from a man's house from trying to rape me. It was bad. It was bad. Just, yeah. So, I kept that secret to myself, and the enemy played on that. Like, what type of God, allowed this to happen to you? You're not, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff they said at church, it ain't true. You know what I'm saying? It's not true. Nobody's ever gonna love you. You're nothing but a body to people. You're nothing but a body to people. And when that thought came into my mind, that's how I started to act. That's how I started to carry myself. That went on for years. It carried on into my relationships. I started to have abusive relationships where not only were they abusive, I was the abuser too. I would outlash and leash my demons onto them. I was somewhat of a gold digger, I guess you could say, but they weren't really rich. At the time, I felt like I was being a gold digger, but it wasn't no gold really to dig. I say like, I was a copper digger. I was a copper digger. So they had copper, I was digging. I was digging into pennies, you feel me? And I needed to survive. Like, I never had a place to stay, you feel me? I never had a place to stay. So they all had housing or a way to take care of me, put me in hotels and stuff. At the time, my mom was in a hotel paying $40 a night, and I would just finesse dudes for $40 a night to get to my mama so she could have places to stay. Because I knew they would let me stay with them, but she couldn't come there. So I would just have to get $40 every day for her. And she was in the middle of the hood in a crack hotel. And yeah, that bothered me. Even though I felt like she failed us, I still wanted my mama. I still had to protect my mama some way, somehow. So I made sure I did that. And cry about it, I ain't being a punk about it. I went and got them $40 and I got it for her. You feel me? And that was life for me for a minute. Working jobs, quitting jobs. Yeah, I was even, down in the valley where the girls get naked. If you got money, then we're gonna shake it. Hey, 1, 2, break them. Yeah. I tried my hand at that, and I was too awkward. Too awkward, too skinny, and it sucked, man. It sucked horribly. I would find people and we would be in long-term relationships, but it was just never somebody that I loved. Like, I didn't know what love was. I knew survival, and whoever helped me survive is who I loved. So that's what I rock with, you feel me? And I had plenty of opportunities to go to God and get it right and fix the matter, but I did not believe he existed. I did not believe he existed until my adulthood of going through so much abuse. You know what I'm saying? I even got married and I sabotaged that whole marriage. And that could have been a marriage that worked and blossomed. That probably was real love. Probably wasn't. I found out some things after. I don't know. But at the moment, I could have tried and I didn't. You feel me? I didn't. Sabotaged it by cheating with the ex. I was a serial cheater back then. Which is why I'm so positive on being faithful and truthful now. I wouldn't say like a serial cheater. I just was where the money reside. Yeah, that's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? Because I was homeless. I had to survive. I'm not gonna lie. That's what we're here to do, deliver ourselves. You feel me? I went through abusive relationships so much that I felt like if the relationship wasn't abusive, then something was wrong. I ran to different religions and I got into New Age, and I learned how to meditate, heal thyself, know thyself. I learned numerology. I learned the power of attraction, law of attraction. I learned the power of your mind, all this hoopla stuff. And I started to change myself. I got rid of a lot of toxic ways, I'm not gonna lie. But I never felt fully healed from the things that happened to me in my past. You know what I'm saying? The rapes, the abuse, the incest that I went through. It was just a lot of stuff that I'm not gonna dwell on, because the video here is to talk to you about why I came back to Jesus Christ. So yeah, I just went through a lot of stuff and had 2 kids, 2 different fathers. And I felt so unworthy that I had no choice, because I was so at rock bottom. I was literally under the rock. You feel me? Like, I wasn't at rock bottom on top of it. Just like, dang, I hit rock bottom. The rock was on top of me. You feel me? And it was time to get myself right. Whether it was a God or not, it was time. And I just went ahead and did that. And I started making myself right, reading a lot of self-help books, all types of stuff about becoming supernatural, the alchemist, the secret, all this stuff. And Peace with Every Step, all types of books. And through all that is when I gained all these tattoos and stuff, because it was helping me, but it was, what I realized is that this was stuff that was in me already. Didn't need to read no book, didn't need nobody to teach me, didn't need to listen to 1,000 Erykah Badu songs, even though I love Erykah Badu. You feel me? I'm trying to ask God to work on me with that. But through all that stuff, it was stuff that God already placed in me in my childhood. It was stuff that was already in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want to read that Bible because it's so difficult to comprehend, and they put it in plainer terms. So it's more believable and more gravitatable, if that's a word, to come to. You know what I'm saying? It's just a trick. It's illusions. And the devil is the master of illusions. And what really brought me to Jesus Christ, the part you all been waiting on. All right, that was me being quirky again. But yeah, what brought me back to Jesus Christ was when I went through a season of people performing witchcraft on me. You feel me? And realizing that they were doing it this whole time. Like I told you, I had the gift of prophecy. So I would dream stuff and I would dismiss it. I wouldn't pray against it, but I would dismiss it because I'm just like, that's crazy. But the whole time, the spiritual world was showing me what was trying to manifest in the physical. And I just wasn't trying to hear it because it was my friends or my lover, or it was all a lie. It was all a lie. It was all a lie.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
But yeah. So yeah, freaking, started to learn about witchcraft when it came to certain sister circles and friends and stuff I got into with yoga and spell work, and I went down that path too, and crystals and sage and all that stuff, thinking that I was applying principles over my life that would help me when it was cursing me indeed. Because that is a slow kill, you feel me? It's such an illusion. It's so similar to Christ that you would feel like it's actually working until you start seeing that nothing is really resulting in this but baby steps. But with God, you can catapult to where you need to go. And that if you really read inside your Bible, that is the only place that really reveals the stuff before it ever even happened, that it was going to happen, that false prophets were going to come with their false teachings. It even talks about Baal, B-A-A-L, how similar he is to God with his own churches and priests and prophetess and all this stuff. You can look up yourself, but it was like mind-blowing to me, Revelation. And that's what I'm reading now, Revelations. And I seen this guy on YouTube because I was having all these dreams, and it's like, now I'm single, went through my last relationship, my heart was destroyed, and I was single, and I'm like, let me watch this video of these dreams. Like, why I keep having these dreams? Trying to get a dream interpreter. And I run across Kevin La-Ewing, L-A-Ewing, if I'm saying that right, La-Ewing. That man is such the seer, interpreter, the gift that prophets need sometimes. And he pretty much broke down everything that was happening in my dream, and to the T, everything he described and interpreted was exactly the truth. And now I'm starting to piece together my dreams and realize what is really happening, and I was astonished. I was astonished because it made so much sense why I kept dreaming these things. I was dreaming about exes, and I won't go into the details of the dream because that's not the purpose of this video, but I was dreaming about exes and what they were doing, and it was true. Like, I would find out later through people. I just had to pay attention because the devil is really sneaky to get it by you, and I just had to pay attention, and I realized, like, dang, bro, I really got played again and again and again and again and again and again. You feel me? The devil was going to steal from me, which he did. Everything, every lover, every item that I had. He was going to destroy me, which he did. I went from being so lit, turned up as a bartender, doing all this stuff, having the attention I want, having the body I want, having the things that I want, and he destroyed all of it. It's like a vacuum spirit. As soon as I puffed up, he just waited till I got big enough and then destroyed it, sucked all that life out of me. And I had to laugh at myself because it's just like, dang, bro, you still don't get it, that there's only one true God, that there's only one man that God has destined for you. And you just keep trying to do all this other stuff. You keep trying to reach out to all these other guys, and they are going to fail you over and over again. But the devil wants you to keep doing this stuff, so you lose your mind. And when you lose your mind, that's when he comes to do his last thing, which is to kill you. And I was dang near suicide. You feel me? Over and over again, I contemplated suicide. And man, it did a number on me. You feel me? It did a number on me. And I would listen to Kid Cudi, Speeding Bullet to Heaven, and I was just really going downhill, drinking all the time. It was bad, and I had no friends. I got one friend, and she doesn't stay here, and it was just, everybody was hurting me. People I was trying to make friends, they were backstabbing me, betraying me, doing all. I was just getting done dirty. You feel me? I was having a Job life experience for real. And I could not see any way out. That's why I'm telling you I was under the rock. Because even though I hit rock bottom, I was still trying to reach for everything else to get up but God. And that's when it hit me. When all the witchcraft started to become real from my dreams, because I didn't know how to pray against it. And I started to see stuff manifest in the physical. And that's when I knew, oh, this is serious. Like, this is really serious, bro. Like, you're going to have to find God again and ask him to forgive you. You're going to have to repent. You're going to have to fall on your face. You're going to have to change some things, or you're going to die out here. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to that type of low under the rock, but that's where I was. And I was about to die out here, like, for real. And once I started praying against those things, I'm like, I don't got nothing else to lose. Let me just try. You feel me? Let me try God again. Let me die. Because I never really tried him before. I was just a kid. You know what I'm saying? Let me really try God again and see what's up. When I really tried God again, everything that was being done to me immediately ceased to exist. When I started to read my Bible and read the scriptures and read the word and start praying and fasting and having a relationship with God, all those things ceased to exist. Now, I would still try to come into my dreams spiritually to make stuff, covenants, you know what I'm saying? But I had already knew the weapons to fight with. I already knew the word. So it ceased to exist. It ceased to exist in my life. And because of that, I knew then that God was real, that the Spirit of the Lord was real, that I knew that Jesus was real, that I knew that the Bible, that those words, all of that had to be real. Because if you had the life that I had, from sexual abuse, from teenage prostitution, from freaking witchcraft being done on me, from being abandoned, neglect, if you had the life that I had, then you would understand that there had to be a God if I tried that and it worked. And that's what made me give my life back to Jesus. That's what made me take a vow of celibacy, you know what I'm saying, until I'm married. That's what made me stand firm on not letting certain people in my life anymore. That's what made me change, just accepting who I am, loving who I am, and knowing that God has something special for me. That's what made me reach back to certain people and just tell them the whole truth about me. That's what made me stand up and say, this is what it is, and this is what it's gonna be, and God gonna get the glory out of this story, and to put this on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's what let me know that there can only be one. All these religions, all this stuff I ran to, ain't none of this helped me. I got every symbol of sacred geometry on me. Ain't none of this put the forces together like so. None of that helped me in my time of need until I opened that word, until I reached out to God, until I grabbed him in his garment. That was the only thing that helped me. And that's why I went back to God. That's why I went back to Jesus. That's why I'm standing firm on what I believe. That's why I don't care and I'm unashamed about telling this story on YouTube, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? You, Miss Badu, do. Yeah, me. I went back to Jesus, man. He saved my life. He loved me when no one would love me, not correctly. He was a father when I was fatherless, mother when I was motherless. It's the friend I always needed. I didn't feel a void with him, you feel me? And it's like, when you've been hurt the way I've been hurt, the things I've been through, but God, man, but God. It's so many times where I could have died, you know what I'm saying? People done shot at me, played Russian roulette with me, you know what I'm saying? Put a gun to their head and threaten their life to leave. It's just so much stuff I went through, that stalking, female, male, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much stuff that I went through that I knew that God had to be real, because soon as I came to him, soon as I came and accepted that his son died for our sins, my whole life became peaceful. And I played with it over and over again, but I was never serious until this time, until this under the rock moment. And it's like, that's what made me give my life back to Jesus. That's what made me understand that I needed peace more than I needed friends. I needed peace more than I needed money. I needed peace more than I needed lovers. I needed peace more than I needed popularity. I needed peace more than I needed career. I needed peace. I needed peace, man. And I don't know, like, if you like me, I don't know if you need peace more than you need everything else. But if you do, you need to try God. You need to accept his word. You need to meditate in his word. You need to break covenants off of your life. That's why a lot of stuff ain't working, and a lot of y'all want to keep running back to these things, because there's a covenant inside of you that was made spiritually that you haven't broken. So no matter what you try to get peace, even if you step in church, you're gonna keep facing church hurt. I went through that too. People used to bully me all the time in church, call me poor, call me dirty, make fun of me and my sisters. Everything that I thought that God was blocking wasn't blocked. It was just covenants. But you don't know that because you don't know your word. The Bible says my people perish for a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They're dying because they have no knowledge of how I work, how I operate. And when I figured that out, it's game time, baby. Game time, baby. Game time, baby. Hey, game time. It was game time, you feel me? And even though I'm not the richest, the wealthiest, I'm not married yet, I'm not whatever, you know what I'm saying? I got Jubilee. I'm happy. I'm complete. You know what I'm saying? My skin is clearing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? And God is opening doors for me like never before. I couldn't even get on YouTube for years after I made my YouTube videos. I was blowing up. You feel me? I was getting like 5K. People was watching. I could have kept going, but that spirit of depression took over me. But God got me right back here when I obeyed His law, because I got knowledge of how He operates. And it ain't through all them channels. Yeah, I was trying to go through. It wasn't through them channels. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wanted to give y'all that testimony. I also wanted to tell any female out there that's going through abuse, you're not alone. There's somebody out here that relates to you. There's somebody out here who's been through worse. There's somebody out here who's been through less, who you can help. Your life is never for yourself. It's always for somebody else and for God to get the glory. Your life is just a blueprint for the younger ones coming up so they won't get too misguided. That's what your life is for, to be a blessing to somebody else. And the moment you realize that, the easier your life will get, because you got to go through it, but you got to have endurance. You got to have perseverance while you're going through it, because somebody else is going to need the guideline, the blueprint on how to get through it themselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to know about your dream interpretations, I want to put Kevin Ewing out there. Go look up Kevin Ewing. Dreams of Witchcraft. Witchcraft in your dreams. What your dreams mean. He got videos like that everywhere. His channel is bomb. You feel me? And pray. Talk to God. Speak to God. But most importantly, when you talk to God, a lot of people pray to God and they say, well, God don't answer. God don't. Did you ask for forgiveness before you prayed? Because He can't hear your prayers until you forgive others. The Bible says when you come to me praying, you need to forgive. You have to forgive everybody first. Then I can hear you and do things for you. People skip over that part. And that's why they think God don't hear it. Because you still bitter about your daddy. You still bitter about your ex. You still bitter about this friend who hurt you. You still bitter about this relative. You're still bitter. And you come to God asking for stuff. It don't work like that. Clean your heart. Renew your mind. And then try and watch what happened. You feel me? I had to learn that too. And when I did, it's a game changer. So yeah. Wanted to make that video for y'all. Wanted to tell you that that's my testimony. I don't have no glamour video where I'm gonna cry on here and act all dramatic. I just wanted to get a testimony to somebody who needed to hear it. It's more to the testimony. I could one-on-one you if you need be. You know how to hit me up on here. I didn't want to make y'all too sad with telling y'all my childhood, so I skimmed through a lot. But the basis of it all is I tried everything. I ran every religion: Buddhism, Judaism, Hindu, New Age, Rastafari, everything, and nothing worked but God. Jesus, His Son, His blood covered me. And now I'm here, happy, healthy, blessed. And I pray that this will help you surrender to and be a blessing to you.